Hi everyone, this is Anna. I put together a time-lapse video of me creating a Christmas card in a vintage style and thought I would share it with you. The image I'm using on my card is a 2003 Stampin' Up! Set image. It's called Winter is Calling, and it's these two little girls, a snowman, and a dog. The set also comes with a sentiment and some various other little images as well that I did not use today. I decided to watercolor the image, so I stamped the image in black StazOn ink on a soft cotton paper. It's not a true watercolor paper, but it does take watercoloring okay if you're not too heavy-handed with the water. What I'm doing is scribbling a little bit of the Zig Clean Color pigments onto a clear acrylic block and picking up those pigments with a number 2 Escoda Kolinsky paintbrush. As I paint the image, I'll go ahead and just let you watch and listen to some music, and then I'll hop back on when it comes to something a little more exciting that I can talk to you about. So as each layer dries, I'm going back in and adding a little bit more color to each of those layers. It gives just a little bit more depth to the image and a little bit more detail to the painting. I decided to pick up some blue-gray and add a ground shadow to the girls, the dog, and the snowman. And once that's dry, I decided to go ahead and vintage up the cardstock with some distress ink. I'm going to be using a brush from Picket Fence Studios and 3 different colors of distress ink. The first one that I started with was tea dye. Then I switched to vintage photo, and eventually I will switch to ground espresso just to add a little bit more depth around the outside edges. I decided I was going to do some stamping on the background, but before I did that, I wanted to add some water to the background and distress that ink just a little bit. Doing the water distress before I add the stamped images keeps those stamped images from blurring out with the addition of the water. Once the water was dabbed off, I used my heat tool to dry the paper and then went in with the stamp images that I wanted to add to the background. This postcard stamp is from another Stampin' Up! Set called Postcard. I believe it's also very old, from like 2003 or 4. And then I used this image from Impression Obsession just to add some script detail in the background as well. And once again, I decided that the outside edge wasn't quite dark enough, so I decided to grab some of that Ground Espresso Distress ink and add some of that to the outside edge. I wanted to go ahead and add some faux stitching lines on the outside of the panel, and so I ran that through my die cut machine. Then I had to trim down that panel just a little bit to make it smaller, and since I had trimmed down those edges, I decided to darken them up again, that smaller panel size, to darken those edges up again with Ground Espresso. I'm going to be mounting this card front on some gold, vintage gold paper. And then I'm going to be mounting that on a black cardstock base. I think this image is super cute, and I love it in the greens and pink colors. So now that that's mounted onto a black card base with foam tape, I decided that it needed a little bit of sparkle, so I used my silver glitter dust spray, added just a little bit of shimmer and shine to the card, and I think it turned out really cute. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. Talk to you again soon. Bye!